In the midst of a chaotic school field trip, the class is thrown into a conflict over a romance novel, which leads to tensions amongst classmates, particularly between Ayaka and Takuto. Tuka observes the situation, feeling invisible as he tries to muster the courage to intervene but doubts his worth. This moment of bullying escalates until Ayaka insists on retrieving her book from Takuto, prompting Tuka to speak up. Takuto dismisses him, but the exchange ignites a flicker of hope in Tuka as he gains brief recognition from his peers. As the goddess Vicious appears, the students are bewildered, realizing they've been summoned to the fantasy world of Alien. Vicious declares them heroes, tasking them with defeating the great demon empire. But doubts arise about their abilities. Ayaka expresses her frustration, questioning their power, while the others react with disbelief. Vicious reassures them that they possess special abilities. Yet Ayaka remains skeptical. During the class's assessment of their powers, Takuto and Ayaka shine with high ranks, but when it's Tuka's turn, he is shockingly labeled as E-class, the lowest of the heroes. Vicious explains the harsh consequences of his rank, including being sent to the ruins of disposal if he fails. Despite his protests, the situation spirals, leading to insults from his peers, ultimately crushing his spirit. However, Ayaka encourages him to embrace his true self amidst the chaos, igniting a fire within him. As he finds himself in the dangerous ruins of disposal, Tuka's mind races with thoughts of survival. He realizes his unique skill, initially deemed worthless, might hold more potential than he imagined. Faced with terrifying monsters, he begins to test the limits of his skills, struggling to find a way to survive in a world that has cast him aside. As he levels up through desperate battles, he embraces his darker side, determined to prove his worth and seek vengeance against those who wronged him. In the ruins of disposal, Tuka Mamori begins to recognize the chilling void within himself and acknowledges his newfound power after leveling up. A Seijai warns him of a looming threat, expressing her determination to confront him if he does not embrace his darker nature. Ayaka arrives, offering support and urging Tuka to join her, reassuring him that the wait is over. In reflecting on his past, Tuka recalls the warmth of the family he once knew, but admits to feeling detached and devoid of humanity now. He wrestles with the terrifying realization that he's not afraid of taking lives, a sentiment that scares him as he contemplates his new identity. Accepting this transformation, he begins to embrace the skills he has honed, including the ability to inflict paralysis and poison. As he moves deeper into the ruins, he encounters Anglin, a legendary sage who reveals the dark fate that has befallen him at the hands of Vicious, the goddess. Anglin entrusts Tuka with powerful forbidden magic, emphasizing the importance of his quest for revenge against Vicious. With a newfound resolve, Tuka acknowledges the cycle of evil surrounding him, and he begins to formulate his strategy for confronting the Soul Eater, a formidable monster that has claimed many lives. As he prepares for battle, Tuka reflects on the horrors inflicted by the Soul Eater, realizing that the creature feeds off the despair of its victims. He strategizes how to utilize his skills effectively, grappling with the psychological toll the confrontation will take on him. Just as the Soul Eater relishes his anguish, Tuka manages to turn the tables, exploiting its overconfidence to unleash his newfound powers. Emerging victorious, Tuka levels up and is congratulated by his allies for defeating the terrifying beast. With Anglin's encouragement, he vows to exact his revenge on Vicious, setting his sights on his next challenge while making new allies in the process. As the story unfolds, tensions rise among Tuka's classmates, with Kirihara trying to assert dominance and recruit Kabato to his side, hinting at potential rifts within their group. Meanwhile, Ayaka expresses her concern for Tuka, acknowledging the risks he faces, but he reassures her that he will not abandon her. Confronting Vicious, Ayaka stands against her policies, advocating for the weak among their ranks, while Vicious maintains her cold demeanor, demonstrating the harsh realities of their world. In a chilling moment, the narrative shifts to the Holy Watchers, who hunt down Ceres, revealing the predatory nature of the environment and the dark forces at play. Tuka and his allies navigate the dangers, seeking forbidden knowledge to strengthen their resolve as they prepare for the challenges ahead. With a newfound focus, Tuka sets out to find the Witch of Taboos, hoping to acquire the knowledge needed to face Vicious and ultimately fulfill his quest for revenge. As the conversation continues in the bustling tavern, Tuka discusses the various powerful factions across the continent, including the undefeated Brilliant Brigade, led by the beautiful Mad Emperor Falcondotsine. They speculate on the strength of the Magnar Kingdom and the Holy Order of the Purge, while acknowledging the fearsome reputation of the Black Dragon Knights of the Bacchus Empire. Meanwhile, Tuka reveals their urgent need to locate the Witch of Taboos and find a way to enhance Pigamara's abilities. The scene shifts as Cred Hercley, the Marquis, announces a new exploration task in the mill's ruins, promising 300 gold pieces for the Dragon Eye Chalice. This piques Tuka's interest since the chalice is tied to his plans for monster enhancements. However, the atmosphere quickly becomes tense when a stranger mistakenly identifies Sarah's Ashrain, leading to an embarrassing revelation and a confrontation. As the tension dissipates, Tuka shares his shopping plans before delving deeper into the ruins. He engages with Lise, discussing the Marquis's call to adventure and the dangers they might face. She shows resolve about dealing with the aggressive men in the tavern, revealing her careful approach to interpersonal relationships. Tuka's determination to conquer the mill's ruins becomes clear, as he and his companions face unexpected monsters. The atmosphere remains tense as they encounter a dead ox demon, hinting at their challenges ahead. They learn of a vengeful request from a local, heightening the stakes and revealing the darker sides of the mercenary world they inhabit. Tuka finds himself in a confrontation, showcasing his growing power as he dismantles his foes with ease. Despite the chaos, he plans for a necessary break before venturing further into the ruins. A feeling of unease settles in as rumors spread about the mysterious deaths of monsters, indicating a hidden threat. As they explore, they stumble upon the Dragon Eye Chalice, and Tuka devises a plan with Lise, who offers her sword skills in exchange for protection. Their partnership solidifies as they discuss the implications of their journey and the challenges that lie ahead. Lise reveals her concern for her safety, and they agree on their roles as bodyguard and client. Their dynamic shifts as they confront the formidable Skeleton King, a challenge that tests their newfound alliance. After successfully overcoming the Skeleton King, their conversation turns to the treasures they've discovered, including a mysterious egg. As they decide to retreat to the surface, the dangers of the ruins become evident, pushing them to strategize for their next steps. With the Dragon Eye Chalice secured, they plan to meet again to discuss their future, weaving their fates together in the quest to find the Witch of Taboos. The dialogue emphasizes their growing trust and the complexities of their pasts as they navigate through challenges. In a bustling market, the group discusses the value of the Dragon Eye Chalice, realizing it surpasses their expectations. Lise expresses concern over the exchange, urging caution with such a precious item. Despite her hesitation, Tuka insists it is hers, suggesting she could discard it if she wishes. This moment leads to a brief discussion on their names. They agree to use aliases in public for safety. Lise reveals she is on the run and hints at secrets she hasn't shared. Tuka reassures her that he doesn't wish to pry, focusing solely on her ability to protect him. Their rapport builds as Lise acknowledges his kindness. They then discuss their morning plans, indicating Lise will return shortly. As they prepare for their next steps, Jean enters the scene, announcing the gathering for an enhancement experiment involving the Dragon Eye Chalice. The atmosphere shifts as Vicious, the goddess, checks on Sarah's after a battle with skeleton knights, revealing her protective instincts. Tensions rise between Vicious and Ayaka as they argue about teamwork and personal motivations. Vicious assigns Ayaka to train the weaker students, knowing her strength will help them. Meanwhile, Tuka feels suspicious about Sarah's well-being, hinting at deeper concerns. Amidst this tension, they learn about a dangerous paladin in the dark forest, prompting immediate action. As the group prepares for a confrontation, Lise struggles with her powers, highlighting the serious stakes they face. The situation escalates when they encounter members of the Black Dragon Knights, and Lise realizes the gravity of their predicament. In the heat of battle, Tuka showcases his tactical mindset by planning his next moves against formidable foes. Tuka's resolve strengthens as he recalls his desire for revenge against those who betrayed him, ultimately leading to a confrontation with Civic Gartland, a man of immense strength. He realizes this encounter could shift the balance in his quest for power. Tuka offers a proposal to Civet, aiming to negotiate their fates while revealing his true identity as a hero from another world. Civet responds with intrigue, prompting a deeper conversation about their shared desires for strength and revenge. The dialogue culminates in a tense agreement, where both characters express their willingness to face each other in a future battle, setting the stage for further conflict and growth in their respective journeys. As they prepare to part ways, Tuka remains determined to use Sarah's abilities to his advantage, emphasizing the strategic nature of his plans. With the stakes rising and alliances forming, the scene closes as they set forth, ready to face the challenges ahead. Tuka expresses admiration for Civic Gartland's exceptional abilities, revealing that he no longer sees himself as a hero, but as an avenger seeking to cover Sarah's Ashrane's tracks. As Lise reassures him of her loyalty, she reflects on the importance of his gentle demeanor, hinting at their growing bond. Their conversation shifts to the formidable hero slayer, raising questions about the strength of their enemies. As the scene unfolds, Ayaka Sogu arrives, asserting her role on behalf of Vicious, leading to a confrontation with Takuto Oyamata, who underestimates her. This encounter highlights the tension among heroes, with Ayaka demonstrating her speed and strength. Tuka remains resolute, vowing to dismantle any obstacles in his path to revenge. Lise shares her commitment to support Tuka, despite the selfish nature of his vengeance, emphasizing her debt to him. In response, Tuka expresses gratitude and confidence in their partnership, promising to repay Lisa's kindness in the future. Meanwhile, Vicious acknowledges the hero's potential, hinting at the impending clash with the Great Demon Empire. Amidst the growing tension, Jean and Ashen's soldiers discuss the aftermath of the Five Dragoons' demise, speculating on the implications of their downfall. The conversation shifts to Eve Speed, the undefeated champion of the Bloodsport Coliseum, as rumors circulate about her past and the dangers she faces. As Tuka and Lise engage in discussions about their strategies, they consider how to approach Eve and gather information on the elusive Witch of Taboos. This leads to a tense meeting with Eve, where Tuka confronts her deception, revealing his knowledge of her situation and the Duke's intentions. Tuka proposes an alliance, aiming to protect Eve and the child she fights for, suggesting that they could work together to navigate the dangers that lie ahead. Eve remains skeptical of their capabilities, but acknowledges the seriousness of Tuka's claims regarding his strength. The dialogue culminates in a moment of trust, with both sides weighing the risks of their next steps together. As the discussion continues, Eve questions the martial prowess of Tuka, indicating her skepticism about his abilities despite his claims. Tuka responds by asserting his magical skills, emphasizing his victory over a skeleton king. Eve challenges him, insisting that those victories are insignificant compared to the dangers they face in the land of monsters. In a bid to prove himself, Tuka reveals he was responsible for the defeat of the Five Dragoons, demonstrating his unique powers. Lise adds credibility to their claim by sharing her experience as a witness to their downfall. While Eve acknowledges their strength, she remains firm about her path forward through the upcoming Bloodsport match, expressing her distrust. Tensions rise as Tuka urges Eve to reconsider her trust in Duke Swan, whom he deems untrustworthy. Eve defends her position, asserting that while the Duke may be flawed, he has honored his promises to her in the past. Their dialogue reveals Eve's deep-seated belief in the Bloodsport as her only route to freedom. Despite the inherent dangers it poses, the scene shifts as they encounter a group that has been cursed for defying Sermwaji, the progenitor of the cursed god. Ayaka expresses outrage at their arrogance, while Tuka points out their delusion in claiming to have defeated the 5 dragoons. As tensions escalate, Mwaji emerges, asserting control over the cursed individuals and ordering them to submit to his will. Tuka reacts fiercely, declaring his readiness to fight back. The conflict intensifies as they discuss the constraints of the Bloodsport and the threat posed by Duke Swan's ambitions. Tuka lays out a harsh reality for Eve, questioning her loyalty to a man he sees as manipulative and dangerous. This leads to a chaotic scene where Eve voices her resolve to confirm her freedom through victory, while a sinister plot unfolds around her upcoming match. As the urgency builds, the narrative captures the anticipation for Eve's match, while revealing deeper conspiracies involving those who wish her harm. The characters are faced with difficult choices, balancing trust and survival as they navigate the treachery of their world. With their fates intertwined, the group prepares for the challenges ahead, setting the stage for pivotal confrontations. In a critical moment, Tuka uses his unique powers in a fierce confrontation against the Ashen soldiers, calling out Paralyze. The Ashen soldiers retaliate with a taunt, mocking his humanity and proclaiming Eve's grim fate at the hands of Duke Swan. Tuka responds to this cruelty, reaffirming his disdain for their actions. As chaos ensues, he gives Eve the command to eliminate anyone who tries to flee, showcasing their determination. Amidst the fighting, the Duke desperately commands his men to destroy Tuka, revealing the tension within their ranks. Tuka reflects on the joy of battle and his gratitude towards his allies, especially Eve, who expresses newfound excitement in fighting alongside him. However, the Duke vows revenge, highlighting the ongoing conflict and Tuka's dark resolve. As the battle draws to a close, Tuka directs Sarah's to prepare for their departure, while acknowledging Lise for her support. Post-battle, they discuss how to deal with the aftermath, deciding to use a unique skill to erase evidence of their confrontation and pin the blame on their enemies. Jean, a manipulative foe, realizes his plans have been disrupted, seeking to find the escaped allies. In a more intimate moment, Sarah's and Lise bond, reflecting on their pasts and the importance of trusting each other in their journey ahead. As night falls, they continue to forge their relationships. Lise reassures Sarah's about the importance of trusting one's inner circle, while the group discusses their plans for the future. Tuka expresses his intent for revenge, but Lise stands firm in her loyalty, indicating a growing alliance among them. The dialogue shifts as they contemplate a name for their mercenary band, ultimately deciding on the Lord of the Flies warband to signify their identity in the world of Alien. With a sense of purpose, they begin their journey into the land of monsters, encountering challenges that test their strength and resolve. As they venture into unknown territories, Tuka showcases his growing prowess against weaker monsters, revealing his increasing confidence and readiness for the battles to come. Meanwhile, Eve expresses concern for their safety, but Tuka reassures her of their capabilities. Ultimately, they face more formidable foes, and even as Takuto boasts of his strength, the group must navigate the dangers ahead, united in their quest. As they approach the Witch of Taboos, each member contemplates their roles in this dark world, hinting at the trials and transformations yet to come. As the group makes their way toward the Witch of Taboos, Tuka reflects on his encounters with the formidable monsters of the land of monsters. He expresses that the recent challenges were not as troublesome as he expected. As he searches for useful ingredients, Eve, astonished, asks if he really defeated a human-faced beast alone, to which Lise responds that this is just how Tuka is. Lise then shares her confidence in Tuka's abilities, suggesting they have hope to navigate the nightmare ahead, but urges him not to take on too much alone. Tuka quickly agrees, noting a path to follow along the cliffs, as he emphasizes the urgency to move before the rains begin. As they travel, Eve mentions that she doesn't sense any monsters nearby, which leads Lise to speculate if their closeness to the witch has caused this eerie calm. The conversation turns to fears and uncertainties as they discuss the dangers of the land of monsters. Tuka reassures his companions that he intends to survive this journey, bolstered by Ceres's belief in him, and acknowledges the faith his allies place in him. They reflect on their progress, grateful for the teamwork that has brought them this far, and Eve expresses her hopes for a peaceful life after their struggles. Suddenly, they are confronted with a dead monster, triggering a tense moment where Tuka senses danger lurking nearby. With a horde of monsters closing in, Eve decides to act as bait, demonstrating her dedication to the group's mission, even at great personal risk. Tuka agrees to her plan, stressing the importance of her return and acknowledging the weight of responsibility that comes with their situation. Lise supports their decision, expressing understanding and concern, even as they prepare for the chaos that lies ahead. As the tension escalates, Ayaka commands the group to move quickly to safety, revealing the panic among the students as monsters swarm around them. Amid the chaos, Tuka tries to maintain control, focusing on the mission at hand and the safety of his friends while recognizing the dangers they face. The urgency heightens as they strategize how to confront the overwhelming threats they are about to face. With their plans set, Tuka rallies his allies, determined to turn the tide in their favor and ready to unleash his full power against the oncoming threats. As they engage in battle, the chaos of combat and the struggle for survival truly begins, leading them deeper into the heart of the land of monsters. In the heat of battle, Tuka uses his status ailment powers to paralyze an enemy, confidently declaring the real target is above him. He reveals his strategy, explaining how he tricked his opponent into believing it was a trap, showcasing his cunning and skill. With this newfound strength, he levels up and unlocks an advanced skill, marking a significant moment in his growth. After the intense fight, Tuka expresses a desire to regroup with Ceres and their friends, acknowledging his exhaustion. As the team assesses their condition, Eve shares her encounters with other heroes, hinting at the looming threat they face. Tuka insists on keeping his identity hidden from former classmates to prevent them from becoming obstacles in his quest for revenge against the goddess. Lise, showing her concern for Tuka's well-being, reassures him of her support while he reflects on how much he has changed since their first meeting. As they converse, Tuka contemplates the burden of leadership and how it has affected his demeanor. Lise admires his strength but worries about the toll it takes on him, promising to stand by him. Their dynamic hints at a deeper bond, as they share light-hearted moments about their ages and experiences, with Lise acknowledging her loyalty to him as a ruler. Tuka, still grappling with his identity, reflects on the responsibilities that come with power, while Lise declares her commitment to him. The scene shifts to the discovery of a magic seal, leading them into the witch's territory. Tuka expresses hope that the witch can help them unravel the mysteries surrounding forbidden magic. They encounter golems that seem non-threatening, increasing their intrigue about the witch's presence. As they delve deeper, they realize the implications of the witch's powers, and their quest for vengeance against Vicious is more complex than anticipated. They finally meet Erica, the witch of taboos, who holds the key to their future endeavors. Tuka's determination to annihilate Vicious intensifies, signaling the climax of their journey ahead.